Hello and welcome to another edition of Two Guys and a Mic. I am one of your hosts, RP.
And I'm your other host, Big Sean. I hope everyone's doing well.
As you can see, we're super enthusiastic this evening. It's just exuding through our voices. I think Sean and I have had a long day, so
yeah,
excuse us if it doesn't seem like we're excited, but
we are. Trust me.
Speaking, I'm excited. Football, the NFL to be specific, is up and running. Sunday will be a whole slate of games, and of course, being a Browns fan, I'm always excited for the first couple games of the season. But this year is a little bit different. I actually expect us to be good all year, not just got my fingers crossed that we don't start 0-2 and then that's just going to tank the rest of the season. You know what I mean?
We're all positive vibes. We're not going on that negative stuff.
That's what I'm
positive
saying.
Vibes.
I think this squad is equipped. So we're excited about that. At the same time, we're excited because there's college football as well. So we got some college stuff we want to talk about today, specifically the Ohio State and Oregon game. We'll touch on that as well. So you want to jump right into it?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go then. So last night was the kickoff, as we just said, to the NFL season. We had was a really, really good game. I don't think I anticipated it being a good game or as close of a game as it was. And it was the defending world champion Tampa Bay Bucs versus the Dallas Cowboys. I actually expected Tampa to win that game. I won't say handily, but I thought they'd win and it wouldn't be like a down to the wire type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were probably, let's say like 24-14 or something. Not a beat down, but I just thought that they would, just outlast them. They're a better team, et cetera, et cetera. But, as much as I dislike the Cowboys, they look pretty good, at least offensively. They look pretty good. They couldn't stop water. They couldn't stop water with a piece of paper. Like they couldn't stop nothing. But neither did the Bucs. The Bucs didn't really have a lot of stops either. So I think that's just some early season stuff. What you think?
Yeah, I thought it would be a close game. If we all remember, before Dak got hurt last year, the Cowboys offense was pretty potent. And they kind of much just picked up from where they left off. Their biggest problem yesterday, and really what caused them to lose the game, in my opinion, is they couldn't capitalize in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
They got there quite a few times and had to settle for field goals, and Zerline missed a couple of field goals and
turned the ball over.
Tampa on the other hand, when they got down there, they cashed in. Well, for the most part, they had a couple of turnovers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Down there in the red zone too. But I think Dallas just kind of shot themselves in the foot by not scoring touchdowns when they had the chance to. But I thought it was a very good game. I don't think Dallas's defense just based off this first game, looks a little better than it did last year.
They stuck.
Tampa got weapons. You know what I'm saying? Dallas got weapons. So that was just a classic, shootout type of game.
It was a duel.
Yeah, it was definitely a duel. But I think Dallas too, what they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to kind of focus on Zeke a little bit more. And this is what
thank you.
Yeah, Dallas does stupid things. Now you have Dak Prescott coming off of a shoulder injury. And he hasn't played in a while. He had this fool throw the ball like 60 times.
And I was waiting for an opening to say basically what you just said. I couldn't understand, and I put this on Mike McCarthy. You know me, and accountability and responsibility. I'm going to try to place the blame where I think it belongs. 2,000% agree with what you just said. Dakota went out last year with a bad wing, and in his first game back, this dude threw almost 60 passes. You do realize we got 16 more games to play.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't put this dude. And I mean, had he pulled it off, I don't know if anybody would be gripping and griping. But I thought that A, he threw way too much, and I thought B, you got Zeke. Why you not running Zeke in certain spots? You know, why are you throwing the ball just for the sake of throwing the ball? But McCarthy is that kind of a coach. If you recall being in Green Bay, you know, Rodgers was, you know, throw happy. Now imagine this being down there, like you said, Dallas does have some pieces that you can utilize way better than what, like, you know, from a total package standpoint, way better than what he had in Green Bay. So he's probably, you know, really excited to see these guys catch every pass and you know, run these little gimmicky plays, because that's what McCarthy does. Not gimmicky, but you know, he likes a wide open offense. And you can see that.
But he needs to help out his defense too. If your defense is struggling, you want to keep your defense off the field a little bit by running the ball, playing a little bit more ball control. But maybe he just felt that they had it cooking. You know, they were pretty much taking what the defense gave him and exploiting the defense. Maybe that was his thought process, but I think he needs to be going forward. Like I said, it's a long season, especially with an extra game too. You got a quarterback coming off 2 injuries, you know, the ankle, you know, as well as the shoulder injury that he sustained during training camp. You know, I think you want to coach like a little bit smarter, but Dallas just doesn't tend to do smart things.
Well, I think that's because they hire coaches that are underlings beneath Jerry Jones.
Right.
They're not really like their own, not really capable of being their own folks. That's all of the kind of alpha male guys that have coached there. You know, Jimmy Johnson, Bill Parcells spent about 2 minutes there, and they was like, "All right, man, I'm out. I can't deal with this." But
and I would be remiss if I didn't say that also this was the most boring season of Hard Knocks.
I didn't watch
the history of Hard Knocks.
I didn't watch it. I don't have any. When I say I dislike the Cowboys, I was being nice. Like, outside of any team in our division, like, here's my level of vitriol. Goes Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Cowboys. Like, I don't even know why I dislike the Cowboys so much. I can't stand.
To me, it's their fans. I hate their fans.
And I was just getting ready to spin that, because I said, no, I do know why. It's their jackass fans. You know, if they didn't have, and I'll be honest, you know, I like the New York Yankees and all of that. I think that Dallas is the New York Yankees of the NFL. They're the team that everybody loves to hate. You know what I mean? And their fans don't really care. You know what I mean? Their fans are retarded no matter what's going to happen. They're going to be loud, obnoxious. They're super obnoxious. You know, they could win the Super Bowl. They could go 0-16, and their fans are still like, "Whoa, go Boys!" Like, you know, relax. Listen, and we know when the Browns were losing, I couldn't pull Sean. I couldn't pull Sean out of his house. He one time Sean gave me the tickets. It was like, you go. That's just, you know, like, I mean, at some point, all of your enthusiasm should subside when your team stinks and isn't playing necessarily up to par. And that's where my issue is with Dallas. I think their fans make me dislike them, especially when they're good. I'll tell you what, from what I saw yesterday, I think Dallas is going to be pretty decent this season. I don't know what's going to end up happening with them, but I think they're going to be decent.
I think so too. And on top of that, they play in a weak division, so that's going to help them
right
as well. And they just loaded, man. Look at their receiving core. You got 2 good running backs. They did improve on defense. Offensive line is good, and that looked like he hadn't missed a step at all. That dude looked like
I was like,
he
damn,
was in mid-season form.
Yeah, Dak looked great. And he really didn't get touched up last night either. So
No, he didn't.
I do know that the Giants defense is solid. So, and that's a divisional game. So again, I think through the course of the season, there's no team that's going to escape the dings and the dents and the injuries. And so that's why
I'm gonna tell you right now, the Giants stink.
No, I didn't say that the Giants are going to be good. I said that their defense is decent. So that's a totally different conversation.
Yeah,
that's
they
a totally
stink.
different conversation.
The Eagles stink too. The Eagles stink.
The Eagles are a dumpster fire. I don't understand how this close to winning a Super Bowl, how they could be this bad.
Yeah. Now I'm rooting for Jalen Hurts though. I kind of like Jalen Hurts.
I am.
They got a couple of players on that team that I like, but I think that their coach is an idiot. So I don't think that they're going to be too successful. Now the football team, they have a very good defense, and they have an excellent coach.
Yep.
Only thing that's going to hold them back, they're going to win some ball games, but they got Fitzpatrick. So you know how Ryan Fitzpatrick is. He's going some days he's going to look like Joe Montana, and other days he's going to look like Babe Laufenberg. You have no idea what you're going to get out of him from Sunday to Sunday.
Not Babe.
Yeah, Babe Laufenberg, when he throwing interceptions all over the field. You have no idea which Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to show.
Ryan Fitzmagic.
So
that's like when you get nicknames like that, that's the worst. Those are the worst nicknames ever. It's like Sanity back in the day. You just expect this guy to have this ridiculous run. The crazy part is, I think Fitzpatrick has done it pretty much everywhere he's been, where he's on like a 2 or 3 game run of absolute ridiculousness. He'll throw for 350 yards each one of those games, and bring his team back from a ridiculous deficit, and then end up winning the game. And then you're like, wow, we're at 500. I think we'll be able to get into the playoffs. And then he turns back into Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, he wakes up one Sunday and realizes I'm Ryan Fitzpatrick and I stink.
Yep,
and that's it. And once he loses that luster, he's just downhill for the rest of the season. Then every team he goes to, they start swapping in and out quarterbacks, and it never ends well. And then they end up shipping him off to whatever. And this dude has parlayed that into like a 12-year career. I don't know how long he's played. It's been a long time.
He's been in the league for about 12 years, but he's played for 62 teams, which is crazy.
Exactly. I think the Browns are the only team he hasn't played for yet. So, all right, man. So you
right, but, that's a perfect segue. Speaking of the Browns, our Browns are getting ready to play basically the AFC divisional game over again on Sunday. We're back in Arrowhead. Excuse me, a tough place to play. A venerable stadium. I'm a big fan of old school stadiums. I know Sean is a fan of old school stadiums as well. So,
yes, sir. They have personality.
Yeah, and I don't like the old school. And here I am deviating again. But hold on, bear with me. I don't like the old school stadiums that take on the corporate names. Just leave it as it is. Let it be Arrowhead. Let it be Soldier Field. I don't want it to be City Field at City Bank Stadium at Soldier Field. Don't do that. Don't do that. Leave it alone. Let that old stadium be what that old stadium is going to be. Fenway should never not be Fenway unless they tear it down. Wrigley should never not be Wrigley. I just believe that those old stadiums with that type of character that have been around and have seen it all should stay that way. So
I agree.
saying all of that, it's one of the crazier fan stadiums to be in. And from what I understand, it's one of the crazier fan environments to be in, being out there during the, pregame stuff, the tailgating and everything. However, I think this Browns team is better than the Browns team that went to the playoff game last year. Tell me if you agree with that.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
Okay. What are some things that, for you, I mean, we got a lot of new folks, roster-wise, we got a lot of new folks, but I don't think that Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski went out. I don't think Kevin Stefanski came up with a list of people and handed it to Andrew Berry, and they sat down and talked about what him and Paul sat down and talked about what they were going to do, and they just went out and grabbed guys. This looked like and we've talked about it before, this looked like there was a strategy in who they went and got, the guys that they wanted to bring in. It was a complete strategy. They understood what we needed, and they went and got those guys. Of the guys that we got, who do you think, or what do you expect to see impact-wise out of the newer players? Guys like Troy Hill, guys like John Johnson, guys like Anthony Walker. Guys like Jadeveon, who do you think will have the biggest impact going forward for that team?
Oh man, that's a tough question and a good question. Like off the top of my head, I'm going to have to say Clowney. As much of I've been down on Clowney since he's been in the league, but I think now he may be rejuvenated. He's opposite Myles Garrett. You got good linemen on the interior as well, and going against KC, they have 3 rookie offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where, I know we haven't gotten necessarily to the keys of the game, but I think that's where it starts, is going to be on the front line. So I'm looking at Clowney to make an impact, because we need that. Myles needs a guy opposite him that's going to be consistently putting pressure, so they can stop triple teaming him and holding him on pretty much every single play.
They probably hold him on 2 out of 3 plays, like a flat out hold. That never, we might get one out of 4 of those calls, but he's getting held on 2 out of 4.
And then I have one more that's going to be very important, and I think that's going to be JOK as a rookie, because we need somebody that can stay with the tight end. That's what the Browns' weakness since they've been back in the league is that they cannot guard high quality tight ends.
Absolutely,
it always kills us, and I think he's going to be key. Also, the safety, Johnson, they're going to be key, and it kind of, you got to keep that in check. Can't have Kelsey and what's the guy from Baltimore, Mark Andrews, and all these guys, just especially like on third down. You can't have these guys continually making plays and not being able to get off the field. So those, to me, out of all the acquisitions, those are the to me the 2 most important ones.
I agree, and I've been like waiting with bated breath to see what you felt about that, because as we were preparing for this new season and how we were going to approach the show, I'm like, man, we got this first show coming up. I got to have some juicy questions. I got to have some, we got to have some discussions, because, that's what's going to push the show towards a certain type of thing. And for me, that made me sit down and really start to pay attention to what I wanted to see. And I heard this question, not the way I just asked it, but I heard a form of this question. And I said to myself, man, these dudes is crazy. I was listening to talk radio. I was like, man, these dudes are nuts. I said, I got a better question what impact? Who do you think out of the new crop of guys is going to have that impact? To me, I don't disagree with you at all.
Mhm.
But I think for me, I would switch. My first one would be John Johnson. I think
Okay.
a capable safety. I think having capable, not just a capable safety, a capable leader at safety. I liked most of the guys that we had to a certain point last year. And actually, even a year before, I liked some of those guys. I thought they were decent enough. But our problem was we didn't have a stopper. We didn't have even a real leader out there. Ronnie Harrison was good for us. He was decent last year. So I think having somebody who can do what he can, which John Johnson can. John Johnson is big enough, strong enough, fast enough, and instinctive enough to, as you said, cover those guys that give us issues up the middle of the field, those doggone tight ends from the other teams. And I think once he starts giving the tight ends those fits, he starts to give the wide receivers those fits, because now it's in their head. We haven't had a physical, instinctive safety since TJ Ward.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I don't know that TJ is at the level or was at the level of John Johnson, but TJ had a good maybe 3-year run where he was really, really nice
Yeah,
throughout
I
the
agree.
league. Like really, really nice. And I think John Johnson is better than he is. So
Right.
if that's what we get, if that's what we're getting, I think we're gonna be okay. And then my next one would be JOK. You know how high I was on him going into the draft. So you get a guy that we haven't had a guy like him ever. Ever. What do I mean when I say that? We don't have linebackers, and we haven't had linebackers with lateral speed. We've had linebackers that can run fast backwards and forward, north and south, but we haven't had a lot of guys that could get to the side from sideline to sideline instinctively real fast. This kid can do that. And he just got a nose for the ball, and he can lay you out. Like all of the stuff that I've seen from him has made me believe that he's that guy. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle Travis Kelce. If we can take away Travis Kelce, yeah, you still got Tyreek. That's a problem. You still have got other weapons that are going to be a problem. And hell, just Mahomes moving around the pocket can be a problem. So everything that you said still matters, because you still got to get pressure. Still got to have some level of containment on him. And even when you kind of got him, you still got to watch him, because he do some no-look 40-yard dart for no reason.
Right. You know what? I've always said that Patrick Mahomes plays the quarterback position like a point guard in basketball.
He does.
Almost.
He absolutely does.
Because, if you think about it, how often do you see him just drop back and just let it rip? Now, he'll throw his deep balls, but a lot of his stuff is like improvisational type stuff with the no-look passes and the little flips and the stuff. And that's what gets people. Now, kind of getting into the teeth of the game and the keys to this game, where I think where the Browns can be successful. One, we talked about them having rookies on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you can't go into that game being intimidated by them or the crowd. That's going to be a test for the Browns. You hadn't had to deal with any crowd noise for a whole year. So crowd's going to be jacked. So you're going to have to do that, make sure that you stay coordinated on offense and defense as far as, making your play calls and communicating on the field. But watching KC, even though it's just preseason, they're not invincible like people tend to make them out to be. So you got Tyreek Hill and you got Kelce. Other than that, I'm not scared of McCole Hardeman. I'm not scared of what's the other guy, Blevins, something like the other receiver that they have. And if we can get some type of pressure on Mahomes and just kind of disrupt him a little bit, he's one of those quarterbacks. He doesn't like to get hit. He doesn't like you to be around it. Kind of like Tom Brady. You know, he's not Tom Brady, but as far as style, but he doesn't like to be hit. He doesn't like to have his timing disrupted.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. I think that, you know, we ain't gonna be able to contain them the whole game. They're gonna make some big plays. That's just who they are. But I don't think it'll be like, remember how it was in the playoffs, like that first half, they're pretty much moving down the field with ease.
They did whatever they wanted.
Yeah, until the Browns kind of figured it out, you know, I guess like kind of like around half, he was like, you know what, we can actually play with these guys, you know. And that's what I mean by you can't go in there and be intimidated by them off rip or you you can play with them. So I think we do have some distinct advantages, even though like the national media doesn't tend to think that we do, but really we do. You just have to take advantage of it. So take advantage of that weak offensive line they have. Defensively, they're just okay. You know, nothing to write home about.
We don't have to be worried about too many people on that defense. What's their nose tackle name? What's his name? Chris Jones.
Yeah,
I think it's Chris Jones.
I think he's defensive end, I believe.
Other than him,
they got a good safety. I can't. And you can see how
he's not playing.
But they have a good safety too.
Well, Honey Badger not playing.
He's out.
He didn't practice today.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not sure if he's playing. I said he's not playing. I'm not sure if he is playing. Let me be a little clearer with that statement. I don't think he didn't practice today. And usually, if you don't practice on Friday, that tends to be an issue for you playing in the game. So, but I didn't hear anything officially that he's not playing.
This is a safety that they have that's pretty good. I don't know if he's a safety or a corner. He really stood out last year. I cannot think of his name to save my life right now, but I know he's pretty good. But KC doesn't scare me.
I'm not afraid
like they did last year.
I'm not worried about their defense.
No, that all could change Sunday if we go down 28-0. In the first half, it just gets out of control. But as of right now, they really don't.
Look, I won't be scared then. I'll just be pissed off.
But here's the thing, man. Here's one thing that, the Browns since, what was it? Baker Mayfield's rookie year started taking baby steps and turning the whole culture and stuff around, right? The next big step that the Browns have to take is to win an opener. We haven't won an opener since 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And people would just say, man, it's just the first game of the season. That's not that important. And that's true. But as far as the psyche, yeah, you don't want to start off the season on the wrong foot like last year, losing 38-6. You got to answer all these questions. Now the Browns got lucky because after that first game, okay, yeah, you got to play Cincinnati game too to kind of fix that. Now, who do we play the second week? Was it like Houston or somebody like that?
Yep.
At home, but you don't want to.
That was a tough game.
Yeah, Houston on paper and something going through with Deshaun Watson. I know Deshaun Watson's not playing. It looks like it's an easy game. But those are the games, like trap games, where because everybody's underestimate them. They're gonna come in. And they got something to prove. So
hey, listen, Tyrod got something to prove. Yeah, that's what the starting quarterback is. So he might be trying to,
exactly
and whatnot. So I agree.
Exactly. So if you can pull this game out in KC, come home against Houston, take care of that. You can get some momentum going early in the season, but instead of us always saying we're fighting uphill, the first half of the season and trying to turn it on late. So I think that's just a very important ball game just for the psyche of the football team, period.
Agreed, man. I think that to me, I won't even say getting started fast. For me, it's getting started at a point where you're at a level playing field. Again, you don't want to get started slow, because getting started slow means you're behind, and you don't want to get behind a team like this. You want to be able to show these cats. It's like a Frazier Ali fight. You know, when you hit me, I need to be able to hit you right back and make you feel like I'm here, bro. You're not
Right.
dispatching me. You're not getting rid of me. So it'll be great to start fast. But what I don't want is for us to start fast and then kind of disappear. But if we can, you know, at least start where we punching them in the mouth just as much as they might try to punch us in the mouth. It has to be an even playing field. Like, in order for us to get to the upper echelon of, you know, we all might think that we're a Super Bowl team. A lot of it happens in here. A lot of getting to the Super Bowl happens in here, and not for us, the fans, for the players. The players have to believe, A, that they can make it, and B, they got to play like that's what they want. You know, so they have to at least start on the level. You know, if we get the ball first, can't go 3 and out, bro. You've been waiting all year. You get the ball first, you cannot go. I like this. Listen, if they go 4 plays and turn the ball over, to me, that's better than going 3 and out.
Right. Exactly.
So I need to see them be able to move the ball whenever they get the ball. You know, I would like to see us get the ball first, give our defense a little opportunity, because our defense is the newest part of the team. So it gives them an opportunity to kind of gel a little bit and maybe not play from behind the 8 ball.
Right. You know what the point spread is on the game?
I do not. I did not look at that. I should have, but I did not look at that.
I bet you something disrespectful.
It probably is something.
I bet there's something like 7, 8 points or something crazy like
it's probably something like 6.5, 7. Something, just because we're out there, you know.
Right.
Which, I mean, I'll say this. I don't know that the team feels this way, but I heard an interview from one of the sports talk guys out in Kansas City today, and he said he's not giving the Browns any level of same level respect that, you know, the Chiefs have until we beat them. He's sick and tired of hearing about how the Browns are built to beat the Chiefs. He's tired of it. He's sick of it. I've been hearing that junk all year, all off season. I've been hearing how they should have beat us and how they just barely. No, man, I'm sick of it. Y'all gonna have to show me something. Otherwise, y'all just, he's like, I ain't gonna say y'all the same old Browns, but I'm just gonna say y'all still the Browns to us. I was like, look, I was listening to the interview like, okay.
Yeah, we heard that before.
Yeah, we heard that before. And again, we still only talking about game 1. This ain't the playoffs yet. It's game 1. Ain't no telling what might happen, even if we win this game. Ain't no telling what we could build going forward as we get to game 15, 16, 17. So, yeah, to me, I'm going to slide right into my keys of the game real quick. I think ball control is going to be our friend. I think ball control is going to be our friend. The less plays that Patrick Mahomes gets to touch the rock, the better our chances of winning that game. So Kevin Stefanski, that means running the football kind of heavy. I'm thinking somewhere, I would like to see Chubb, you know me, I'd like to see Chubb get anywhere from 18 to 22 carries. He's going to have to get that tomorrow. Or, yeah, tomorrow basically now at this point. I think Kareem Hunt is going to have to get about 10 or 12 carries. Just to keep ourselves on the field. You know what I mean? Just to take some of that time off that clock. That's the first thing. Ball control, ball control, ball control. Second thing is just the mental capacity that is necessary to win this game. We got to be mentally ready as much as we are physically ready. Baker got to be Baker, the Baker that finished the season. And if we see that Baker, when he gets the opportunity to throw, and as he's leading that offense, we should win this game. What you got on your keys?
Well, your keys are my keys. I agree 100%. Unfortunately, I don't think Stefanski is going to do that.
I don't either. I don't
not saying he's going to have a horrible game plan. I just think that him, in this modern era of football, I won't even say modern era of football. Like this, people act like stuff is brand new. It ain't, teams being pass happy. That's not new. Stuff kind of comes around in cycles. It's just that this current phase, everybody wants to like throw to set up the run and stuff like that. So I would love to see him do ball. I mean, you can do ball control too without necessarily running to death. I mean, if you get a fair share of screens, short passes and stuff like that, you can kind of do it that way too. But I would love just to, see him feed Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Kind of keep it simple. Don't go out there, especially with that environment and that crowd. Don't get out there doing nothing fancy, doing wide receiver passes and all that type of stuff. I mean, you kind of need a simple game plan. Keep it close to the vest. You don't have to be conservative, but just keep it simple.
Yeah.
I hate doing all this crazy. So we don't need no trickeration, none of that crazy stuff. Just keep it simple. And the other key is just getting pressure on Mahomes. We've got to disrupt his timing. Can't let him just sit back there and do his thing. If you don't get any pressure on Patrick Mahomes, there's no way that we're going to win this ball game because we're not going to be able to outscore them. We're just not. As simple as that. So you got to get some pressure on him. This is going to sound cliche, but we got to get at least one turnover. To some point in time during the game,
I agree.
Got to get a turnover. But those are pretty much my keys, and I'll go ahead and give my score. I'm gonna say the Browns are going to win in the thriller, 31-28.
So does that mean that the kicker, our young kicker, is gonna kick a field goal to win the game, or
Nah, we just gonna win. It's not gonna come down to him doing it.
Because I tell you what,
if it comes down to him doing it, we're gonna lose.
I don't have a lot of faith in that McLaughlin kid.
I sure don't either. He's on the injured list too.
Is he?
Yeah, he's on the injured list with a hamstring or something.
Man, he's scared, son.
I've never thought that I would say that I would miss Cody Parkey.
Listen, I don't miss Cody Parkey.
I do miss him. I'd rather have him than this bum. We got it. I mean, because he was barely. I mean, all preseason, this dude was barely getting him in the upright.
Yeah, he was like, how you make it and still shank it?
Right.
Right. I didn't get that. I mean, Cody Parkey. My problem with Cody Parkey is that you find he'll make 10 in a row for no reason, and then he'll miss that one that you really gotta have.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you'll be like, oh yeah, ain't no way he didn't hit 10 in a row. There's no way he missed. So
maybe they should go out and get Nick Folk. He's out there.
They need to go get somebody who can kick a doggone field goal, and somebody who can kick a doggone field goal as the season gets colder and windier here in Cleveland.
Right.
But I like that score. I think that score is it's actually pretty close to the score I was thinking. I'm thinking 34-31 Browns.
Okay.
I think that we have firepower. I think we have the weaponry to hang with them in some level of a shootout. I actually think that could be even less than that if we get the right pressure, if we get the right, turnovers and whatnot. And if we don't turn the ball over, we can't turn the ball over and get that crowd opportunity to get loud and get all in our ear and whatnot.
And the thing that I want to see, man, I just want to see intensity. I want to see hunger. I want to see, hey, we know this is game one, but this means something to us. That's what, how we jumped out against Pittsburgh. You could tell it meant they got tired of losing to Pittsburgh. It was sick of it. You could tell it. You could tell it, by the way they came out there. And that's kind of how I want to see, them come out, because we're still not getting no respect around the league.
No,
we are and we aren't. Like, for every good thing that they'll still say, yeah, they're not dogging us, but it's like, you know what, we don't know if they're ready.
And there's a bit of fairness that I have to give them on that, though.
That's true.
There's a bit of fairness that I got to. I mean, the Browns have been.
We've had one good year, so I get it.
Yeah, we haven't backed up any one good year. What was that? 2007, we went 11-5. We came back that year, that next season, thinking everybody was feeling great. Like, oh yeah, we there. And we commenced to getting it handed to us for the first 4 or 5 games. Romeo lost control of the team in preseason.
Right.
And, Braylon running around with no shoes on, cutting his foot, playing. You know what I mean? Like, it was just goofy stuff. Then it happened again, and what was that? Between Greg Williams and Freddie Kitchens. Yeah, we all had these high expectations.
Right.
And then it didn't happen the way that we expected. So, based on our history, I guess as mad as it might make us, I really can't give them too much grief. Not too much. However, I think this is different. And listen, you know me, man. I done boycotted these cats. I done gave up my season tickets. I done ran the whole gamut with the Browns. Like, I ain't watching the game. I'm not gonna watch the game. And then I'll turn just to see what the score is, and I'll turn away so I can still say that I ain't watched the game. I done did the whole thing. So I understand how somebody who ain't a fan might feel, especially as they're just assessing what's going on. However, my faith is in what I've seen happen from a structural standpoint. From top to bottom, the Browns look different, not just on the field. They look different in Berea. They move different in Berea, and that carries over those 30 or so miles into Cleveland,
right,
down to the stadium. You know what I mean? And you're seeing it on the field. Even in the games that we kind of played bad, it always felt like, I think these dudes got a shot, because we're still there. We're still in it. Mm-hmm. So if you said, if that fight is there, if we can continue to have that fight in us, like you said, like it means something, like it matters to us, if we can keep that, I think we'll be okay. Even if we end up losing this game, it's how you lose. It ain't necessarily got to be a win. It's how you lost. If we lose and we like that close, yeah, okay, good. Let's go on to this next game, man, because we still got those guys on our radar, and they know that we're there too. You want to leave a taste in their mouth, in the Chiefs' mouth as well. You know what I mean? Like you said, I can't be scared of you all day. At some point, I got to be able to punch you, and you say to yourself, damn, that shit hurt. And then we're kind of on an even field. And that's what I hope to see tomorrow. And again, I'm saying tomorrow because it is after 12 o'clock. It is now Saturday. So tomorrow, I hope to see that type of thing. I hate, though, I'll tell you what I hate. Hate that I got to wait till 4:15 to watch this damn game.
Yeah, that's going to be torture, but I'm actually kind of cool with it, though. It gives me time to watch some other football.
I'm not going to want to watch
kind
this.
Of get my juices, You know
what's going to happen.
My juices going.
They're going to show a Baltimore game, or they're going to show a Steeler game, and you ain't going to want to watch it, and neither am I.
Actually, I do. I do want to watch them. I do want
You
to.
want to
I
watch?
do,
I
especially
want to watch the Steelers because I think the Steelers are not going to be that good this
yeah, exactly. That's what I want to see. But I never put it past them. Or the Ravens, everybody's like, well, the Ravens are done because they had all these injuries. I'm like, no, it's a well-coached
year.
team,
I don't believe that.
good
They got a good
organization.
coach. They got a
Same
good
thing.
coach. And actually, the guys that they have replacing those kids that got hurt, they're not awful running backs.
Yeah, exactly.
They're good enough to get, they're serviceable enough. Latavius Murray is decent. So is Le'Veon can be, and especially if he's motivated. So you just never know what you're gonna get. You don't even want to wish for that.
Right.
So, and then they lost Marcus Peters. Like they said, it was one play after they lost. What's
Gus
the
Edwards.
Gus
Gus
Edwards?
Edwards.
Yeah, like one play after. I said, man, what the hell? And I'm by no stretch of the imagination am I a Ravens fan, but you don't like to hear that because I want to take these cats out of their full strength. I don't want to hear no excuses.
And then on top of that, I don't want to see nobody with the ACL tears and all of that stuff.
And I don't want to see them. I don't want to see guys getting that kind of hurt. J.K. Dobbins, I mean, this kid has only been in the league a year and a half, 2 years, so you don't want to see that. You out for a whole year. You don't want to see that. That's just bad. It's bad for the players. I don't like to see that. So,
right. Well, you want to go ahead and jump into Ohio State real quick?
Yeah, let's jump into the Bucs, man. So I'm Bucs through and through. I'm all day long a Buckeye fan. But I had problems last year with this defense. And I think at least after game one, I have problems with this defense. And we kind of spoke about that. Going into tomorrow's game against Oregon, I'm gonna say this. Sean already knows what I'm getting ready to say. Even if he doesn't remember it, I know he knows what I'm getting ready to say. But I'm gonna say something that most people wouldn't expect from me, the homer at times that I can be. It's gonna say, it's a good thing that we're playing this game in the shoe, because if we were in Oregon, we would lose this game. I think that our defense is still suspect. We're still suspect defensively, man. I was not impressed by nothing that the defense did the other day. Not one thing.
No, it's not like Minnesota got a plethora of weapons on offense, and you were struggling with them pretty much like the whole game, man. So I agree with you 100% on that point there. I just want to see some more steps by CJ Stroud. He came on last Thursday. He struggled a little bit at first, but it was his first game. Well, not his first game, but his first full start where he had the keys to the car. So he started to come on. I like that, man. And I'm so off, man. I can't remember these names. What's the running back's name? The young kid, the freshman.
Shoot, I can't remember no name either. I'm old.
Number 28. Well, whoever he is, keep feeding him the ball. And I promise you, America, the next show that we have, we'll be a little bit more prepared. Today was a little bit impromptu, so we kind of like going off the cuff, but that's fine. We can do that. But
usually we can go off the cuff and we still know all these guys. Yeah. However, Ohio State's had a huge overhaul offensively.
Yes, they have.
With the exception of our wide receiver core.
Yeah, all I know is that we need more 28, and that means we had less of Master T, which is perfectly fine with me. The fewer carries Master T gets, the happier that I am.
I have no idea why you hate Master T so much, bro.
Because he stinks.
That's why. He's just not your typical. He's not the typical. I know why. He's not the typical Ohio State running back. We have big, powerful, fast running backs in general. Almost every look at JK, look at Zeke. Those are prototypical, even though JK isn't a big guy. We have guys with nice size shoulders. They're gonna hit that hole. and they're going to outrun you.
It's like last year we wasted half the season with Master Teague when Trey Sermon should have been in there.
Trey should have been in that run. I bet. I definitely said that. I agree with that one.
And Trey, I mean, Master Teague is on short yardage plays, or you need to give a little change of pace. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not totally opposed to him playing at all. I just don't want him getting the majority of the carries.
He can't have the majority of the carries because he's only and these are decent numbers, but not in college. You know, you're averaging like 3.5, 4 yards, 4 yards a carry. That's good in the NFL, but that's average in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is barely averaging 3.5, 4 yards a carry in college. In college, you should be averaging 4.5 yards per carry, because you playing a lot of bad freaking teams in between those good teams that you're playing,
right?
In between those big games that you're playing. So Master T, he's not fast either. He's not explosive. He's just a guy, kind of. And I mean, I don't dislike him, but I do know his limitations. I know his limitations.
Exactly. So I think Oregon's they're one of their main pass rushers is hurt. That Thibodeau guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he's back for this game. If he's not, that's a huge loss for them. I kind of think, man, I think Ohio State is going to run away with this game a little bit.
It's at home.
Yeah, I think. And it's the first time they're back in a full shoe. Since the pandemic. Yeah, so it's going to be jumping at Ohio Stadium. So I think Ohio State is going to run away with this game. I don't think it's going to be a close one at all. I don't know what the point spread is on it. The Pac-10 is just weak. They've been weak for years, but normally Oregon would have a pretty good team, but I really don't. They may be okay. I think they won whoever they played against last week. I take that back. They won, but it wasn't dominant. I think they played like Fresno State. I think they struggled with Fresno State last week.
I mean, Oregon is Oregon. They're not the Oregon that we played in the national championship a couple years back.
No.
They ain't close to that squad. I mean, and who was that? Mariota? That was their quarterback back then.
Yeah.
And they weren't. We mopped them cats, but we were a different team back then too.
Right.
So, fast forward almost. What was that? What's that been? 8 years, ish.
Has it been that long? Wow.
I think that wasn't that 2014. That was 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
So it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
6, 7 years.
Yeah. Wow.
So, two different teams. Ohio State's still an elite squad from 6 or 7 years ago. Oregon is not necessarily that. But one thing about the Ducks, them cats, they can score. I don't know why they can score as good as they can, but them cats always find a way to put points on the board. So it worries me that we're not as sound defensively as I would like for us to. It bothers me. And
because it's so not Ohio State.
It's
like
not.
If anything, we always had a defense. Even if we were struggling offensively at first, we always could rely on the defense. They just look out of sorts, out of place. They're not slow. They just not.
I think
there's no coordination at all.
I think they're slow. But to your point, closer to your point, I think they're slow instinctively.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I know what the play we called. However, I thought I saw him, hunker down. So who cares if you're in the right spot? I don't care if the dude try to fake me out. If I'm where I'm supposed to be, like they taught me, it don't matter that he making all his moves. Just stay home. I always, in every sport I ever had, I've ever played in, what I've realized, even in my mistakes, damn, if I had just did what they told me to do, I'd have been okay. When you run up on a ground ball and just try to pick it, and get it to, because that's what you see all the major league guys do. But the
Right.
major league guys are major league guys. I'm in high school, junior high school. Get down, get everything in your body in front of this ball so it don't get past you. But if you put that glove down and overrun that ball, it's for sure a base hit. So
Right.
it's just fundamentals. It's just little small stuff that I don't see our guys doing defensively. They're not they don't wrap up well. We've always had decent tacklers in the history of Ohio State football. I don't think we have one really good tackler on this squad. We've always had decent corners. I don't think we got any decent corners.
No,
I know what's his name? The All-American kid, Sean
Wade, he's gone.
Wade. He left.
Yeah. He got drafted late by somebody. Don't get me the line about which team.
He stinks. And he should have left. I know he was wavering.
Right.
I know he was wavering, but he
he
stinks.
left.
He stinks. So you can't have. I was in a debate with somebody before about Ohio State potentially being DB University until this kid showed up. And I thought he was good. I know his first year he played really good. But as I started watching him play, Sean Wade, I was like, man, this dude stinks. And I remember last year when he was wavering, I think I'm going to come back. Don't do it, bro. Don't come back. You know who else I had that thought about? Who I used to say about when they were like, yeah, I'm going to come back for another year? Was JT.
Oh, man, the same thing.
I used to be like, man, just go. Just get off.
It felt like he was here for like 7 years.
Like, where's he getting all this eligibility from, bro?
Yeah.
It's like
he had a lot of medical. He had a lot of medical eligibility.
It was like he was borrowing sick days, from his teammates. Like, hey man, let me use a little bit of your. You ain't gonna play no way. Right?
The only thing that I will give JT Barrett was that he was a very good leader. He was an excellent leader, good locker room guy.
He was. I said he was.
Yeah, but his skills are definitely, especially when he had all those knee injuries. His skills were just deteriorated kind of year by year.
Herb just wanted to run the quarterback keeper like on every 2 out of every 3 plays. I'm like, Herb, man, we don't get this dude off the field. Just get this dude off the field. Man, I was glad to see JT go. That's crazy. But anyway.
The crazy part, he had a cup of coffee in the NFL.
That's all he had.
He latched on to I think a couple of practice squads for a couple of years.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think that Cardale is I don't think any of our quarterbacks are in the league now.
No, only Haskins.
Except for Haskins, right. But you have Cardale's out. JT's not in the league. Who else?
Who else was there? Oh, we got Justin Fields.
Oh, Justin. I forget about Justin.
Right.
The best we've probably ever had, to be honest with you. Justin's the best quarterback we've ever had.
Well, I mean, but Ohio State was never quarterback you, man.
No, that's why he's the best we ever had.
Yeah, I mean, we had a series of guys that were quarterbacks, but they were more just, athletes, Braxton Miller, Terrell Pryor.
Braxton was an athlete. Terrell was an athlete. So was Smith.
Troy Smith could actually throw.
No, he could throw, but
his problem was the height. Then he got sick.
And he was 5'6".
Right.
So he wasn't that small, but he wasn't tall. He wasn't tall. So that was always going to be a problem when he got to the league. And honestly, had he not gotten sick in Baltimore, he would have started over Flacco.
Yeah.
And he got sick, and then Flacco came in and was halfway decent for whatever they were looking for, and he never got it. He never got another shot. Not be a starter like that. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's all about the O, regardless. So I anticipate that Ohio State will win tomorrow.
What's your score?
I'm thinking something like 45-15. I'm figuring tomorrow will be one of those, like you say, it's the first time everybody's in the building. It's the first time in a while. We're at home. We're playing in the shoe. I think these guys are just going to feel good about themselves because we're at home.
All right. I'm going to go 38-21. I'll go 38-21. That's still a pretty dominant game. So, like I said, I think Ohio State, I think Oregon may hang with us in the first half or whatever, and I think Ohio State will pull away in the second pretty easily. At least they better, so. All right, man. Well, do you have any other insights or any other things that you want to input today?
I got nothing else in terms of what we already talked about. But going forward, don't forget to look for us on Instagram Live come Sunday. I'll probably be putting some stuff out during the game, at least before the game and around halftime, just to put some bugs in you guys' ear. And we're going to do our post-game show as well, so stay tuned for that.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, I'm about to get in the sack. I'm tired as hell. I know you're tired as hell.
I'm about to hit it myself.
Yes, sir.
But we thank everybody for paying us some attention. Don't you guys even fret. It's about to go hard in the paint with two guys in the mic. So we'll check you guys out. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit them like buttons. Instagram, Facebook. We got the whole gamut, and you can hear us streaming live on Anchor, Apple,
Google Podcast, Spotify.
There you go, Spotify. See,
all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. I'm getting old, y'all. I be forgetting stuff, and I'm not even in a rhythm to do this like I normally am, but I'll get there. So thank you guys for tuning in, man. Appreciate you, Sean. And,
all right, man. Appreciate you too.
I check in with you on Sunday.
All right, have a good one, my brother.
Peace, y'all.